principles on bond purchase. That's the examples. 5,000 plus 10-year bond that pays dividend semi-annually. The bond rate of 4.5% is under consideration. As the potential buyer, you require your rates of return of 8% per year, compounded quarterly on the purchase. What should you be willing to pay for this bond now in order to receive at least the required rates of return? Okay. In these problems, we can see that the 5,000 is a face value bond, and the maturity time of bond is 10 years. Okay, and the bond rate is 4.5%. That means 4.5% per year. Okay, because this statement. The statement rates of return is 4.5% per year. But the dividend compound dividend payments, dividend payment period is semi-annual. Okay, semi-annually. That's bond. And now your buyer will require a rate of return of 8% per year, compounded quarterly. That means 8% per year is the nominal interest rate. Okay, nominal interest rate per year, compounded quarterly. Okay, but the dividend payment period is annually. Here is a compounded quarterly, so you have to find from the 8% per year is a nominal interest rate. You have to calculate to get the quarterly interest rate per quarter. Okay. And then from the interest rate per quarter, you have to find the interest rate per periods of annual, semi-annual. And first on, we have to draw the cash flows diagram here. This diagram has 20 periods, because the bond maturity period is 10 years, and the dividend payment period is a semi-annually. So we have the 20 payment periods, okay, 20 payment periods. And each payment is $112.5. Now, here is a dividend. Here. dividend of 4.5%, we divide by 2 because 1 year includes 2.5 years, okay? So 0.045 divided by 2 is interest rate for a period of a half year, okay? And times the face value of the bond, we get the dividend payment semi-annually, okay? Yeah, it's the equal payment series, yes. And at the end of maturity time, so we receive, the bondholder received 5,000 is the face value. And the question is, how much is the present worth of this bond if we require the rate of return of 8% per year compounded quarterly. Okay. Now, investor requires 8% per year compounded quarterly interest. So interest rate is 2% quarter. Okay. 8% divided by 4 quarter per year. You have the interest rate is 2% per quarter. 2% quarter. Dividend payment. Dividend payment consequence is semi-annual. So therefore, we have to find the effective interest rates for semi-annual periods here. Okay, here is effective interest rates for semi-annual. Okay, 1 plus 0.02 to the power 2. This one is 4.04%. 4.04% is effective interest for payment period. And we shown for present worth here. Present worth is 5,000. We use single payment present worth factor. Okay, single payment present worth factor. Given F, 5P, given future values, 5 present values, okay? Yes. And here, dividend is equal payment series. We use the equal payment series present worth factor. That means given annual values, 5 present values. Okay. Yes. We have the present worth upon is $3,788. So we should be willing to pay $3,788 for this bond now, in order to receive at least the required rate of return. If the bond can be purchased for $3,788 or less, the investor will make the required rate of return. If the bond costs more than $3,788, the investment is not worth financially. Okay.
Yes.
Or you can see that in this example, the face value is 5,000, but the market value of bond is only 3,788. Why that? Because the rate of return the buyer require is 8% per year. It's larger than 4.5% per year is the bond rate. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. That is the present was and future was. We can see that in this files we study the present was, the future was, and the payback periods. Okay, and capitalized cost, payback periods, and present was the bond. Okay, now the very important contents in this slide. Now we continue to study another slide. This slide we study about and was analysis. And was analysis trên Vietnamese phân tích bằng giá trị hàng năm, phân tích bằng giá trị hàng năm, hoặc là phân tích bằng cái chỉ tiêu giá trị sánh đều. Giá trị sánh đều. We have to understand the definitions of and was and advantage of and was, and how to calculate and was, and how to use the and was to analyze the project and compare the alternatives. Okay, that's the contents of and was analysis. Now definitions. And was is the equivalent uniform and was of all estimated receipts and disbursements during the life cycles of the projects or alternatives. We have studied the equivalent values of money. Okay, the definitions of equivalent value of money, and there are three kinds of equivalent values of money. It depends on the methods to calculate. Okay. The first kinds of the first types of equivalent value of money is the present values. Equivalent present values of money. That means that we calculate the cash flows to convert to the present. That is equivalent present values money. And the second type of equivalent value of money is the future was. We calculate the future values of cash flows. Okay, and the third types of equivalent value of money is the annual equivalent values of money, and these times we study in this slides. That is the annual was, and what is the equivalent uniform annual and what's of all estimated receipts and disbursement during the life cycles of the projects or alternatives. That means if we have the cash flows project, we can convert it into a kind of cash flows of equal payment series or annual as annual equivalent uniform series. Okay, we use the minimum accepted rates of return to calculate them. And now advantage of and worst. So first we can see that it is the popular analysis techniques. That means the and worst to be used very popular. It's used very popular. Okay, in fact, and easy to understand. It is easy to understand because the results reports in dollars per time periods, usually per years. Okay, equal payment uniform series is the money is the total the amounts of money receipts or this receipt or disbursement each period. Okay, each period. So it is very understand. And thus it eliminates the least common multiple problems associated with the present worst method. Eliminate the least common multiple problems associated with the present worst methods. Why that? And when we compare the exclusive alternative, we do not have to use least common multiple approach because we only calculate to one cycle, on cycles, on life cycles to compare. Okay, so only have to evaluate one life cycle. Here is a very useful and beneficial when we have to compare the mutually exclusive alternative to select the best alternatives. Now, how to calculate n words. There are some methods to calculate the n words. The first we calculate n words from the present words or future words. It is very easy. The second, we calculate capital recovery and worst, and then and worst and repeatability assumption. Here is express why we have only to evaluate one life cycle. Okay. Now, computation and words from present words or future words. Here, and words equal present words times a factor here. This factor is the recovery factors. Okay, recovery factors. That means we have a given present values, and we have to find the annual values. Okay, here, these factors. If we know present words, we take present words times the recovery factor. Okay, and if we have the if we have an cash flows of projects, we use these formulas to calculate and was. Look at this. The formulas in the brackets, we can see it is sum sum of bt minus ct divided by 1 plus I to the power t, with t going from 0 to n. This is the present was, okay, net present what, NPV, net present value, okay, this net present value. We take net present values and time the recovery factors, we get the N was or net NF, NAF, NAV, the net annual values, okay? That is the way to calculate the N was from the present what's. And second, we can calculate the N was from the future was. Okay, if we know the future was, we take the future was times the factors. Here is sinking fund factor, given F value, 5 annual values, okay, given F value, 5 annual values. And we can express the formula here, N was equal, here is the recovery factor, the factor to be used to calculate the annual values from the future values, okay? Here, the formulas in the brackets here, we can see it is net future values, okay? Because here, sum of bt minus ct times 1 plus I to the power n minus t, with t going from 0 to n. Here's the formula to calculate the future value, okay? Future values. So we take the future values, we times the recovery factor to get the annuals or annual values, okay? That is the way to calculate the annual was. It's very simple. Now, another way to calculate the annual was, we have the criteria here is a capital recovery. Find the capital recovery and annual was. An economic alternative should have the following cash flow estimate. Here is for the service projects. We look at these formulas. We use this formula to calculate the annual was regarding to the revenue projects, because we see the BT minus CT, it is a net cash flows, okay, net cash flows. So the reason we find by these formulas, it is N was or NAV or NAW, net annual value or net annual was, okay, net annual values or net annual was, because BT minus CT is net cash flows. which is financial net cash flows. So this formula is used to calculate the net annual values or net annual worth regarding to the revenue projects. But for the service projects, we use the methods to calculate the capital recovery, and then we can find the annual worth of cost and what's the cost. Okay. And in this kind of projects, I mean service project, the cash flows includes these components. The first component is initial investment P, and at the end of life cycle, we have the estimated future service value SV, okay, and we have the estimated life of n period. Interest rate is small I%, and it is usually the minimum accepted rate of return. Okay, and we have the estimated annual operating cost. AOC, annual operating cost is equal payment series of cost. Okay, equal payment series of cost. And now, what is capital recovery? We denote it as a CR. Okay, capital recovery. Capital recovery is the annualized equivalence of the initial investment P and the future service values at risk for n years as I%. Okay. Annualized equivalent. Okay, annualized equivalence of the initial investment P and the future service value. Okay, như vậy là cái capital recovery này, cái này cũng không ai dịch sang tiếng Việt cả, nó rất khó dịch. Nhưng mà chúng ta hiểu cái capital recovery này đó là cái giá trị săn đều của cái vốn đầu tư ban đầu, initial investment P, và cái giá trị thanh lý tài sản trong phương tương lai SV. Và SV là cái giá trị bán tài sản ở cuối đời dự án. Khi chúng ta kết thúc dự án thì cái tài sản nó có thể bán lại, được thu về được ít tiền. Thì cái đó là SV. Đó. Thế thì cái capital recovery này nó chỉ là cái giá trị tính săn đều của cái vốn đầu tư ban đầu và cái giá trị thanh lý tài sản ở cuối đời thôi. Nó không liên quan gì đến cái giá trị hàng năm cả, cái chi phí hàng năm cả. Và chúng ta có dòng tiền chi phí hàng năm ta để riêng, đó là annual operating cost để riêng. Đó. Capital recovery costs. It is important to know the equivalent annual cost of owning an asset. Okay. Tức là cái capital recovery này bản thân nó là một cái loại được coi là một loại chi phí. Và cái chi phí này nó là cái chi phí hàng năm, là cái chi phí tính săn đều hàng năm để sở hữu cái tài sản với một cái tài sản. Ý là như vậy. Tức là anh sở hữu một cái tài sản thì anh phải mất cái chi phí hàng năm là như vậy. And this is called the capital recovery. Here you can see, for example, we have an asset of n years. Okay, year and years is the the life of assets and the years. And the P is in this purchase, in this investment. Okay, we have to pay $P to buy assets, Okay, and after n years, in use, the assets is retired, and we resold the assets to receive service values, okay, and estimated service values, and we calculate present worth and future worth is converted to the annual worth. It is a cost. It's a capitalized. It's a capital recovery cost. Here, okay, given that to find an amount of A per year. That is capitalized recovery, capital recoveries. Now, comparing capital recovery with annual worth. Comparing capital recovery with annual worth. Capital recovery is a cost, so it carries a negative side. Okay, negative side, and capital recovery is the annual equivalent. The annual equivalent values that represents the implied cost of an asset for n years at I% with a first cost of P and a service values of SV in year N. Capital recovery does not include any operating costs. Okay, so to obtain n worth of a project, once capital recovery is determined, we calculate n worth equal capital recovery plus n operating cost. Okay, and where n operating cost itself is an annual equivalent amount. Okay, the same as years. That is the way to calculate the n worth for an alternative fund. We take the capital recovery plus n operating cost, and they both have the minus size. Both have minus size. Okay.
Yes.
Now, here's a computing capital recovery for investment with a service value. There are some methods to calculate the capital recovery. The method 1, we compute equivalent annual cost of the investment P and subtract the equivalent annual savings of the service value. This is very simple. P times capital recovery factors. Okay, here's a give capital recovery factors. Given present worth, phi n worth. Given present worth, phi n worth. Minus SV times the sinking fund factors. sinking fund factors. That means given future worst, phi n worst, given future worst, phi n worst. Okay, that is the capital recovery factor. Capital recovery calculations. The first way, the methods 1. Now the methods 2. We subtract service value at V, subtract service value at V from original cost P and calculate the equivalent annual cost of P minus at V. Then add to that the interest, add to that the interest which the service value would return each year at V time I. So we have the formula here. Capital recovery equal here initial investment P minus service value SV time capital recovery factors. Here's the capital recovery factors. That means the given present worst, phi n worst. Okay, given present worst, phi n worst, and then plus service values times interest rate. Interest rate is the method. It's method 2 to calculate the capital recovery. Capital recovery amounts. What it means the capital recovery is the annual cost associated with owning a productive assets over n time periods at interest rate by 5% per year. Equivalently, capital recovery may be interpreted as the minimum amounts of money an asset investment must earn except n years to recover the initial cost at returns of 5%. Okay, why? Remember that purchase of assets to conduct business involves a commitment of the owner's funds. As such, an investment is a commitment of the owner's funds over n time periods. Thus, the owners expect returns on that investment. Okay. Tức là trong kinh doanh thì khi mà chúng ta đầu tư mua sắm một cái tài sản cho kinh doanh ấy, thì chúng ta phải bỏ ra một lượng tiền ở hiện tại. Thế và chúng ta kỳ vọng rằng là cái tài sản này nó sẽ phải sinh lợi tối thiểu trong tương lai từng năm một là bao nhiêu tiền để nó đủ hoàn vốn cho cái việc mua sắm cái tài sản đó. Đấy, thì cái ý nghĩa của cái capital recovery là như vậy, tức là capital recovery là một cái chỉ tiêu hoàn vốn. Capital recovery là hoàn vốn. Đấy, nó phản ảnh tức là anh sở hữu một cái tài sản mà anh đã phải bỏ ra một cái lượng đầu tư ban đầu là P. Thế và khi kỳ vọng giả định rằng cái tài sản này khi hết tuổi thọ thì anh bán thanh lý cầm một khoản tiền là SV. Vậy thì cái chênh lệch giữa P và SV nó phải được hoàn vốn, nó phải được thu hoàn vốn ở trong cái tuổi thọ của tài sản đó với mỗi một năm là bao nhiêu. Đấy, cái người ta kỳ vọng số tiền hoàn vốn mỗi năm đấy là bao nhiêu để cái việc mua sắm và sở hữu cái tài sản đó là xứng đáng là xứng đáng với cái lãi suất tối thiểu là y%. Đấy. Thì cái ý nghĩa của cái capital recovery nó là như vậy. Người ta muốn nói cái điều đó. Now we study an examples to calculate the capital recovery and what's of projects. Lockheed Martin is increasing its booster thrust power in order to win more satellite launch contracts from European companies interested in opening up new global communications markets. A piece of space tracking equipment is expected to requires an investment of 13 million, with 8 million committed now, and the remaining 5 million is expended at the end of year one of the project. Annual operating costs for the system are expected to start the first year and continues at 0.9 million per year. The useful life of the tracker is 8 years, with the service values of 0.5 million. The question is, calculate the annual value of cost for the system if the corporation minimum accepted rate of return is currently 12% per year. Okay. So there is the service value, a service projects. Okay, it is a service projects, and we have to find the equivalent values of cost for the projects and what's okay. And first we have to draw the cash flows, draw the cash flow diagram here. It has 8 pairs. Okay, it has 8 pairs. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pairs because the useful lives years. And committed amounts invest up 13 13 million. Okay, 13 millions. But 8 millions invest now. 8 million invest now. And the remaining 5 millions invest at the end of 1 year. 1 year. Okay. Here, 8 million invest now. And 5 million invest at the end of 1 year. Okay. 1 year. And the annual operating costs for the system are expected to start the first years and continues at 0.9 million per year. Here. Okay, it's there's a row here. It's the annual operating cost. It's equal payment series. And this value, service values of 0.5 million here. Okay, service values 0.5 million. That is the cash flow diagram. And we have to find and what's of cost for this project. And what's the cost for this project? First, we have we have the equal payment series of cost is and operating cost is 0.9%. Okay, so we only have to calculate the cost and service value to get the annual values. Okay, that means we have to calculate the capital recovery. Capital recovery here. Now, capital recovery here is 8 million invest now and 5 million invest after 1 year. Okay, 5 million invest after 1 year. But we have to convert 5 million here after 1 year. The present time. Okay, so we take the 5 million time the single payment present was factor. Single payment present was factor. Given future was 5 present was. Okay, so we have this value is present values. Present values times the recovery factor. Okay, here is a recovery factor given present was 5 and the worst. Okay, given present was 5 and the worst. Okay, now minus service value 0.5 times the sinking fund factor. Sinking fund factor is the given future value finds the annual values. Okay, so we get the capital recovery for this project is a $2.47. $2.47. Yes. And after that, we calculate the annual what's the cost for the project here, and what's equal capital recovery plus annual operating. This is 3.37. That is okay. Now we study the capital recovery and what's for the revenue projects. Revenue projects. In a special situation, this is a special situation, and what's the values can be calculated directly from the cash flows for only one life cycle. In the situation that the annual costs and benefits are equal series. Okay, here look at this cash flows. You can see that it is a special situation. The special situation that we can see that this project, it is a revenue project. The revenue projects. In this project, we can see that the first cost is initial investment. The first cost is occur at the end at the present time. Okay. B, it is initial investment occurs at the present time. Okay. And from period 1 to period N, we have the equal payment series of benefits. Equal payment series of benefits is the BT. BT is the equal payment series. Equal payment series. And we have the cost. The cost flow is the cost flow is equal payment series CD. Okay, equal payment series. So because BT is equal payment series and CD is equal payment series too. So you can see that BT minus CD, BT minus CD is a net cash flows. It is also equal payment series. Okay, equal payment series. And at the end of an year, we have the service value. Okay, the service value occurs at the end of an year. Okay, so this is the special situation. And if we have the special situation, we can find the net annual values. We can find the net annual values by these formulas. Annual values, net annual value equal BT minus CD minus capital recovery. Okay. So BT and CD here, we have only calculate the capital recovery. Okay, this is very simple. Okay, we have a sub-break. Okay, sub-break.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the cash flows for the plan B. The cash flow for the plan B. Okay. Please, Mr. Nguyễn Khương.
This number of players is 24.
Yes. Yeah.
The initial cost is 175,000 dollars in the 0 point.
Yes.
Service cost is $10,000. Put it upward in the last point. And so annual operating cost is $2,500. Put this dollars in every comes for it.
Okay. Thank you. So we have to draw the cash flows diagram for its plans. Okay. And now we answer the first question. Use present was analysis to determine which plan should be selected. With the minimum accepted rate of returns is 15% per year. In this problems, we can see that the 2-3 assets has a different life. Okay, different lives. The mover has 12 years. The pet is the mover has 8 years, and the pet has 12 years, and the conveyor is 24 years. So in order to use the present was analysis, we have to use least common multiple methods. Okay. So least common multiple methods here is how many years? Yes.
Thứ nhất là đi 24.
Yes, 24. The least common multiple of year is 24. Okay, 24. So we have to use 24 years to calculate. We have to use 24 years to calculate present was. Okay. Yes. Look at this. You can see that present was a plan A here is first 90,000. What does it mean 90,000?
It's a present what of up. It's a present what of mover.
Yes, here's the initial cost. Initial cost of movers. Okay. Initial cost of movers. Okay. 90,000 plus 80,000 times uh, 80,000 times here. What is this? What is the factors? What is it? The factors. What is it? The factors.
50% rate.
Do you know what is the factors? Mr. Quyết, what is the factors?
Cái giá trị đấy là mình đang tính
Given
từ giá trị F và giá trị future từ cái surrogate để quy về cái giá trị
là cái initial trừ đi cái
given phi P, okay, future values, phi present values. So what is the factors?
Lãi suất còn 8 số 5.
What is the factors? Is a factor is a single payment present was factor. Okay? It is a single payment present was factor with the n is number of pairs is 8 pairs. Okay. We calculate the 80,000 as the pairs 8 to the pairs 0, convert to the pairs 0. We use the single payment present was factor. Okay. And now 80,000. Why does it? 80,000.
Initial code minus service value.
Yes, at the pairs 8, at the pairs 8, we invest 80,000 for the cycle, the second cycle. Okay.
Yes.
Invest 90. We invest 90,000 for the second cycle, but we receive 10,000 receive the service values of 10,000. Okay. So we subtract the 10,000 from the 90,000. We get 80,000. You understand?
Yes, understand.
Yes. Now, come on. Plus 80,000 times the single payment present was factor with the number pairs 16. The pairs 16 it is the beginning of the third cycle. Okay, because because the earth mover because earth mover because the earth mover has the service life 8 years. Okay?
8 year per period.
8 years.
So
We have to repeat
3 cycles. 3 times.
2 cycles, more 2 cycles. Okay. Yeah. So the pairs 16. This it has the beginnings of the third cycle. Okay, or at the end of the second cycle.
Yes.
At this time, we have to invest 90,000. Okay, the cost is 90,000, and we receive the service values of 10,000 for the second cycle. Okay, so we subtract 10,000 from the 90,000. We get the 80,000. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
80,000 we times the single payment present was factor. We have the present was a bit. Okay. Yes. Come on. 28,000. 28,000. What is
initial cost of patch?
Okay, the initial cost of bed, plus 23,000. 23,000 times the present single
payment
present was factor from period 12.
Yes.
To present. Okay. So what is the 26,000 here?
By the initial cost, the minus with the service value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And plus 12,000 to 12,300 times a factor. Now look at this. Look at this. What is factor? What is the factor? What is this factor? What is it factor?
No,
is annual.
The factor is we have to find the present what given and was. Okay. Given and was, find present was. Okay. For the end year, so 20 years, so 24 years. Okay. So here is the equal payment series present was factor. Okay. Equal payment series present was factor. Now, 12,300. What is this? 12,300.
Cost of 2 plus 1 pass.
What?
General operating cost 2 is 12 plus spark is 300 is 12,300.
It's my opinion. It's operation cost of mover and patch.
Yes. Okay. That is operating cost. Annual operating cost. Annual operating cost of mover and patch. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now, come on. Minus 12,000 times a factor here. Factor. Now, what is a factor? What is this factor? What is this factor?
Open.
What is this factor?
Single payment
Single payment
reason factor.
so yes, 24.
The factor is 5p given f. What is the factor?
Is the single payment reason with factor.
Yes, a single payment present was factor. Single payment present was factor. Okay. Now what is the 12,000 here? What does it mean?
The service value of the yes 24.
No,
Now, service values.
non-service value is the annual operating cost of mover.
Service value
No. Operating cost here, 12,300 is operating cost.
a service value of the year
Is the service value
24.
Yeah.
Service value,
Service value of,
mover and patch.
Mover and pet.
yes, the service values of mover and pets for the last cycle of them, okay?
Yes.
Of them. Yes. And we have the reason is 277.1. Okay. That is the present was of the plan A. Plan A. Now I have question here. This value is the benefits or cost. This value is the benefit or cost.
Cost.
Okay, cost. Okay, cost. Okay, yes. Now plan B. Let's do plan B. Plan B includes the 175,000. What does it mean?
Initial cost of conveyor.
Yes, initial cost for conveyor system. Half plus 2,500 times factors. What is the factor? What is the factor? What is factor? Given a 5p. What is the factor?
is the uniform series
Uniform 3.
reason with factor.
Yes, so okay. Uniform 3 present was
Present what factor?
yes. And 2,500. What it is? What is this? What is this?
Annual operating cost.
Annual.
Operating cost.
Yes. Annual operating cost of
Conveyor.
conveyor system. Okay. Yes. Now on minus 10,000 times a factors. It's factor here.
Is single payment present what?
Yeah.
Service value. Yes.
Okay. Yes. 10,000.
Service value at the end of period.
Okay. Yes. Oh, we have the result here, 190,735.1 loss. Now compare and select. You can see that plan B is better than plan A because
Cost smaller.
yes, because the present was of cost is less. Okay, it's less than that's of A. Okay, that is the way to use a list common multiple approach to calculate and compare alternatives. Now, come on. This is a 6-year study period. Here, question number B. Question B. After 6 years operation, a major environment problems made Southeastern stop all operations as a rapid use a 6-year study period to determine if plan A or B was economically better. The market values of each mover after 6 years is 20,000 and the trade-in values of the conveyor after 6 years is only 25,000. The bank can service for 2,000. Now, please use study periods of 6 years to draw the cash flows for each asset. Draw the cash flows with the study periods of 6 years.
Yes.
Okay, do you finish this?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the cash flows for mover.
Yes.
Cash flow for mover. At the end of 6 years.
40,000 certificate.
Yes.
Value.
At the end of 6 years, we have an upward arrow. Okay.
Yes, about a row with the 40.
With 40,000.
Yes.
Okay. 40,000. Now for the pet.
Upward arrow at the 6 year in 2000.
Yes. Okay. Another conveyor system.
25,000 at 6 years. Yes, upward.
Okay, 25,000. So then we calculate the present was here. Now, present was plan A. Now, we have the 118,000.
Totally initial cost of mover and pet.
Okay, yes. Plus
uniform series present what operating annual operating cost of mover and pet.
okay, minus 25,000 here, 42,000.
Cost of the sphere mover and pet.
Is the
single payment present what
service cost.
Service value.
Service value.
Sorry.
Service value at the end of 6 year.
Okay. At the end of 6 years. Okay. We have these reasons. And for the plan B, We have the initial cost here, okay,
Yes.
plus
Uniform series annual operating cost.
okay. And here 25,000.
Single payment present worth service value at the end of the year.
Okay, okay. And now we compare the reason here. So we can see that the plan A is better than plan B, okay, because it has the lower cost, the lower present worth cost. Just use the present, the list command, the present worth analysis. And now the question number 2. Use and worst analysis to solve the problem. Yeah. Now, in order to compare the alternatives by using and worst, we only calculate the and worst for each cycle of alternatives, each cycle of assets, and then we compare them. Okay, that's a very simple. And
Yes.
now, first we have the operating cost. We have operating costs and operating costs for each plans. Okay, and now we only calculate the capital recoveries. Only calculate the capital recovery its plans. Okay.
Yes.
Now the capital recovery plan A is 90,000 times factors here. Now here is what is factor? What is this factor?
Uniform series present worth.
No.
Ah.
No.
IP.
Given P, given present worst, phi and worst. Here is the recovery factors. Okay. Recovery factors. That means given present worst, phi and worst. Biết giá trị hiện tại, tìm giá trị hàng năm, giá trị san đều. Okay. Capital recovery factor. Capital recovery factors. Okay.
Yes.
90,000. What does mean here? 90,000.
Initial cost of mover.
Yes. Initial cost of mover. Now minus 10,000 times of factors. Now
Given future worth. Given future.
Given future worth, phi
annual.
Okay. Yes. What is a factor?
Service.
It's a sinking fund factors.
Sinking fund factors. Yes.
Sinking fund factors. Okay. 10,000. This service values up. Service values up mover. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Now plus 28,000 times a factor. 28,000 is the initial cost for pet. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Here is the recovery factor. Recovery factors. Minus 2,000. 2,000 is the service values for pet. Okay. And times the factor here is sinking fund factors. Okay.
Yes.
And we get here is the recoveries of plan A. And capital recovery plan A. And now we can calculate capital recovery plan B. Includes 175,000 sorry, 175,000. Okay, here, 1,000.
Yeah.
Times a factor here is a capital recovery factor. 175,000 is the initial cost for conveyor system. Okay.
Yeah.
Plus 10,000. 10,000 is service value for conveyor system. Times a factor here is
Sinking fund factor.
sinking fund factors. Okay, we have capital recovery value. Yes. How to calculate the capital recovery for each alternatives? We calculate the N worst of cost for each alternative. Here, N worst of cost for plan A includes the capital recovery
I
plus
annual operating cost
operating cost of mover
and pet
and
pet.
operating cost of pets. Okay, that's the N worst here. Now for plan B, here is the capital recovery plus and operating cost. Okay, we have the and the worst here, and we compare them and select. Okay, compare them and select. We can see that the plan B is better. Okay, plan B is better because it has a and the worst of cost is less than smaller than that of plan A. Okay, so we can say that if we use the and the worst methods to compare in these problems, we do not have we do not have to do a lot of calculation. Okay, but if we use less common multiple approach to compare by present worst, we have to do a loss. We have to do a loss of calculations. Okay, so that is the advantage of and the worst analysis. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, today we stop here. Please do exam. Please do homework number 2. Okay.
Okay.
I send you.